not gonna hold y'all up. I'm watching 34 anime this season. About to be 36 because the two anime I'm not watching yet, they haven't started airing. One is JoJo Part 6, that's not till December. And Demon Slayer Season 2, because you know, if you've been keeping up with Demon Slayer, you know they're showing the train arc. The rest of the arc, I think, doesn't drop till December. So I'm watching 34 out of 36 right now because the other two not dropping till later. But just know, why am I watching so much damn anime again, bro? Can I get a season where I'm watching only 15, bro? Can they start dropping a whole bunch of trash-ass anime? Even though you could argue some of the shit I am watching is... It's there. Some of it, it's not... I wouldn't call all of it trash. Some of it's kind of like, eh. But can they at least drop a season? Because, bro, like, back in 2017, 2016, when I was doing anime, I was watching seasonal anime. It was never this long, but shit. But yes, this is my... What is this? Fall 2021 anime watch list video, what I'm watching, all that and shit like that. Yeah, you see, I forgot because like all this damn seasons and shit, I'm watching way too much damn shit. So let's get on the first anime I'm watching. This is like one of the first ones that came out and I picked it up. And I'm talking about Selection Project. This is basically American Idol type of shit, and they're picking idols because there's literally a group of girls from like each what do you call that, like section of Japan. They each have, I forgot exactly what you call it, but each section of Japan, they each have like girls that are competing in the first episode, and then like one gets selected and they go to like this big program, like this big old house, and like it's basically American Idol mixed with like like any other type of thing you could think of, because they're all like in one house and it's all covered on TV and shit like that. It's pretty decent. It's an okay idol anime. If you like idol anime, you enjoy it. It has pretty good animation. Like, I really like the animation. The main character, bruh, she has one moment where she busts her shit or just falls like from like being, I'm not sure if she was nervous or if it was just because they did show like some backstory of like how like she got to the way she was. But yeah, that's all I got on that one. Let's move on to the next one. Now this one is one I made a video on, and if you've been watching it, you know about like why I made that video, and if you've been watching this. But was it Mariko-chan? The opening is fire, I'll give you that. The opening is fire, but it is like they've turned the fan service super up in this anime. I don't know why, because like in the manga it had fan service, but it wasn't as bad as it is in the anime. In the anime, they're, because like I know, like I've seen TikToks of people saying they've like been turned off because like they've been showing hella ass and titties and shit like that for no reason. Like you go, because like especially that first episode, literally you go like maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and next thing you know, like you'll see her at Miko's ass, and it's kind of like, why? Because like in the manga they had that, but it wasn't that crazy. Like especially the fan service does start to go away, so hopefully I'm hoping in the anime it starts to go away, because I know this turned a lot of people off, because you know a lot of people don't really like fan service, but this was kind of unnecessary fan service. Yeah, the manga did have it, but the anime didn't have to turn this shit up and like focus way too much, because they were focusing way too much. Even episode 3 kind of has it too much. All right, the next one is Platinum End. This one is like one I know a lot of people like, but deadass, this reminds me of Future Diary, like deadass, like really, like it does. It's literally a game. It's like Darwin game shit like that. It's literally like a game that somebody can become a god. And you know, with Future Diary, they got each of them got them diaries, where in Platinum End, they each get an angels and they each have these powers, but they're trying to like figure out who's gonna be the god at the last one to stand, shit like that. So this does remind me of Future Diary a lot, but I know some people will say something else, but it dead ass does. I mean, anybody that says it doesn't, you probably haven't seen Future Diary before, because it deadass has some of the same aspects of it. But so far it seems interesting. There's a lot of crazy scenes in the first episode, and even episodes after that. I can't wait to see like in the next episode what happens, because like something crazy did happen and I'm curious where it goes. But it does remind me of Future Diary, like deadass it does. All right, what we got next? Was it Sakugan? I forgot exactly how you say that. Sakugan, whatever. This is the one that has like they're living underground, and they've been underground like forever, who knows how long. And like this follows like the main character, who's a little kid, and her dad, and she's like super smart. Like she's like, what is she, like 7 or 8 years old, and she's already been all through college, and she's like smart as fuck. And like she always argues with her dad and shit. One day some kaijus attack where they're staying, and then stuff happens. I'm not gonna spoil all that, but it turns into a father-daughter adventure bonding anime. The animation is pretty dope. I like the story so far. The dynamic between the father and daughter is pretty funny, because like the daughter, you know, she's super smart. She's always arguing with the dad and shit, and that shit's kind of funny. But besides that, like it's dope. If you've not seen this, check it out. I should have just like fixed the name, but oh, this next one, I don't know how the fuck you say this. What is this? So the next one is Louvre Alternative. I don't know how to, I'm pretty sure I messed up that first part, but I know alternative. Hey. All right, so this one is an interesting one. It mainly deals with robots, alien invaders, time travel, and parallel worlds. It's a whole bunch of shit. Like as soon as episode 3 came around, that recently came out yesterday, like a whole bunch of shit just happened, and I was like, oh, because like it hits you with it. So this one's okay. The animation on the aliens is kind of, the aliens look kind of weird as fuck, but it deals with aliens. It's an alien invasion type of shit where they crash. Like literally it crashed in the 70s, and like I think the year we're in the anime is like 2001 or some shit. So like there's them fighting. It's basically the whole world fighting basically. And in Japan, you know, it focuses on Japan because, you know, that's what anime focuses on. But it's okay. It could be better, but it's okay. Like I said, the alien animation is like, that shit is kind of ugly as fuck. Like, they are ugly as fuck. I don't know who came up with the design for them ugly ass aliens, but they did. They look weird as fuck. But I guess that's something you got. I guess if it's aliens the way they do it, I guess that's something you can make them look weird as fuck, whatever. Oh, now the next one is where we get it. So one thing about this season is there's a lot of isekai with long ass fucking names, and this starts it off. This is the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. This has a good ass opening. What this is basically about is a grandpa assassin that was in the regular Earth. He ends up dying some type of way, and he gets reincarnated. He talks to the goddess, and the goddess wants him to kill the hero. So he gets reincarnated into like a rich, super rich family that actually deals with doing assassinations and shit. So he has to like do all this stuff. The goddess gave him a whole bunch of like broken skills that he can assassinate the hero because the hero is going to destroy the world, and the goddess wants him to save the world and kill the hero. So shit like that. It's pretty dope so far. Look, it's pretty interesting. Like it's very interesting watching him like learning how to like be broken, because like he picked out certain skills because he only could get 5 skills, but the hero has like 18 or 30 or some crazy number like that. And like it's very interesting so far. Like I've been enjoying this one. This is like a decent isekai, because I mean this season does have hella fucking isekai. Like it shits on everything else that came out this year, meaning the amount of isekai it had, because this has a lot. Like in my opinion, it has more than like any other season. But I mean there's a lot of isekai that came out this year, like way too damn much isekai, but that's every year. All right, the next one is TAKT OP.DESTINY. I forgot how you say that, whatever. This is the one that's by, what is that studio? Mappa Studio. This is the one they've been making. So basically this follows these other alien invaders. Trust me, this has beautiful animation, very beautiful animation. But this follows alien invaders that come. They don't like music. Music gets taken away, but then you have these one type of girls and these conductors. They fight them and shit. So you find that we follow the main character. The 2 main characters. One is like a guy, he wants to play the piano and shit all the time, and then you have this girl that's just like, she seems like she has no emotion, but she eats hella food and shit. She ends up transforming, gets this dress and this big ass gun thing, shit like that. There's more to the story, but I don't want to spoil it because episode 2 hits you with a lot of like information that you need to watch the anime to know about. But episode 1 is pretty dope. Like the animation is beautiful. It's by Mappa, so you know it's gonna be beautiful. Mappa's been in their bag this whole year, like most definitely have, like crazy bag. But that one's pretty dope. Alright, the next one is another isekai. This one's actually really good. The Fruits of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. Yes, another long name. So this one follows this guy who was fat in class and he got bullied a lot. But one day, some guy hops on the microphone and tells the whole school they're getting transported to another world. So everybody in the school gets transported to another world. But before he did that, he told people to get into groups. But the main character, he was the only one that didn't get in a group because everybody hates him because he was fat and all that. He ends up like getting sent to the jungle. But before that, the god gives him like another extra power since he was by himself. He gets sent to the jungle. He ends up taking this fruit from these monkeys. Ends up being evolution fruit. Ends up like evolving all the way to somehow he's skinny and good looking. And then this big old gorilla that he meets falls in love with him, and it's a female gorilla that's pink. And then stuff happens, and she ends up evolving and turning into a human. So now, yes, it turns into a harem anime kind of, because he gets, in the most recent episode, it seems like he got another girl that's joining him. But it's very interesting. I like it. There's a lot of funny stuff in it. I am curious like where this is gonna go, especially because like I always like isekai when they make like a big ass group get isekai'd or reincarnated to like a different world, because that's always interesting. So I'm curious if he's ever gonna meet with the rest of people from the school and how they're gonna feel once they see him, like, because he's not fat no more. He's actually very good looking. That's how he is now. But yeah, that one's pretty decent. The next one, bruh. This one is a very interesting one, this next one. But The Night Beyond the Tri-Cornered Window. This deals with soulgasm. So you know, like in Food Wars, they have foodgasms. This one has soulgasms. Yes, soulgasms, like dead ass soulgasms. Like, bro, it makes no sense. So you're the main character. He's working at a bookstore, but one of the things that he can always see is like he sees spirits and shit. Like always sees that, and he's always scared. One day you have this guy come to the bookstore. This guy gets really happy because he's talking about, oh, I've been looking for you forever, because he wanted somebody that can see ghosts and shit like that. He ends up taking him on. They go on their first journey. He ends up putting his hand or doing something on the guy, and ends up making the guy's soul gasm, because like the guy loses all energy, and like. And he talks about how good it feels, like that his soul, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a fucking lot. It's one of them anime where it's the guy on guy shit. It's a whole lot. I was not expecting a fucking soulgasm like when I went into this, but it happened, and I was like, ew. So now we can add soulgasm to the foodgasm. I gotta look what other. There's more gasms besides that, but soulgasm is a fucking new one. It really is. The next one is Taisho O Tommy Fairy Tale. I'm not sure if I said that right. So this one is where this guy that lives in this rich family, him and his mom end up going into like a car, and his mom ends up dying in the crash and in the accident, and he ends up surviving, but like one of his arms is messed up, so his family disarms him and like moves him and sends him away to live like in the mountains in one of their like getaway houses. So he has to live there by himself until like he finds out he gets an arranged marriage with this one little girl that comes, like, because she's very short. And like as you go on in these episodes, it seems like it's shown like how they're going to build a relationship together, and other stuff is going to happen because it's an arranged marriage. You do find out like his family they like super disown him, which is nuts. But this one's like a pretty cute anime. I've been enjoying it so far. So next one is Pride of Orange. I'm pretty sure there's like something besides that, but it's Pride of Orange. And this is a very interesting one, because like if you've seen like the highlights or something of this, like little clips of this, you'll know what this is about. So this is about these girls. They play hockey. Yes, they took like a free trial to like play hockey, and they end up liking it. And then in the first episode, somehow they won a game, and then they start doing idol shit. So like it's like they play hockey, but they're also idols. They haven't gotten to that yet in the anime, but in the first episode they showed them being idols. So like that's very interesting. That's another direction you can go with an idol anime. Sports and idols. Yes, they went that way. But I mean, hey, I enjoy this one. The story so far is pretty good, but I can't wait to get to the idol part, because that shit's gonna be funny. But there are some funny stuff in it, especially the coach they have. She's hilarious. I fuck with her heavily. She is hilarious. All right, the next one is another long ass isekai name. Banished from the hero, or I guess it's adventure anime. It's not isekai. I mean, we don't know if it's isekai just yet. I think it's just like a adventure anime. But banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. This has a good ass opening. So this is about this guy who his sister is the hero, but somehow he gets kicked out of the party because there's an asshole in the party, I should say, that kicked him out for no reason without asking the rest of the people in the party. I could say, but he ends up going to the countryside to this one small town. He's doing like little adventuring shit till he can make money to make his own store. And as that goes on, he finally gets his own store, but he has an old acquaintance from back in the day, and just know he gets him a big titty bitty. That's all I gotta say. Big titty bitty. That's basically the story, because like it's showing them and like they're moving together, and yes, that's basically the story so far. I mean, we'll see what happens, because like I wonder how he's gonna feel about like his sister, because in the recent episode his sister did send somebody to go find him in a way, but we'll see where else it goes. But just know it's about a guy that gets kicked out of the party. He goes and lives in the countryside, and then one of his old acquaintances that has some big ass titties ends up working with him, and they move in together, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah. Oh, the next one is The Vampire Dies in No Time. This has a banger ass opening, like banger opening. So this follows this one guy. He kind of looks like Dante he kind of does look like him from, you know, Devil May Cry. He kind of looks like him, or he reminds me of the dude from Hellsing. From Hellsing, because like he has this outfit and he's a vampire hunter. He ends up going to take on this vampire. This name is Drac, but Drac ends up being a super weak vampire. As it goes on, they end up working together, and like you get to see some of their little stunts. And there's an armadillo in the show. That's the best character. The armadillo is hilarious. The animation, I like the animation of it, because it reminds me like a cartoonish type of animation. Like it's really dope. But yes, just know the armadillo that's in the show steals the show, bro. Like he steals the show. Like it's really good. And this is like one that's like really funny, and like the show, I fuck with it a lot. All right, the next one I am watching is The Dancing Hero. It's like Mute King, The Dancing Hero. Now this one has a banger opening. Now, only thing I could say about the show is it's a crazy ass vibe, because a lot of shit fucking happens in this show. So you're in this like neo San Francisco city. This guy, he just moved back to the city because like he moved away with his mom because his parents got a divorce a long ass time ago. He moves here, and like in this city, a lot of like weird ghost type of creature are turning people into sludge and shit and using them. So he ends up meeting this guy named DJ, whose real name is DJ, and he goes by a lot of different nicknames with DJ. Yes, you'll get it if you watch the show. But yeah, that happens. They end up turning into, and like stuff happens. Like the little ghost things appear. He ends up turning on the like a boom box, and then Cuz ends up turning to this big robot. Ends up fighting him with dancing and shit like that. This show is like a whole ass crazy ass vibe, but like it's really good. I fuck with it so far. I would say check it out if you want to watch it because it's really dope. It's on Funimation. Next one is Blue Period. This is the first one of the Netflix exclusives that's airing like airing weekly like normal anime. Blue Period's very interesting. Like when I heard people coming to this, like we were talking about it, like saying they really fuck with Blue Period and they wanted it, and like we were hyping this up and all that. But it's just like an anime about art. It's literally a delinquent that ends up going back to do art, and he turns the art club and he learns that, and he's trying to work all his way to get into college, to go into art college and shit like that. But so far I fuck with it. Like I like the pacing. I heard some people like on the internet, because you know everybody complains about anime, you know, like from manga to anime, like you know they complain like if something happens in it. The only time I ever complained is something like big happens, but if it's some little shit I don't really care. But yeah, I know I saw some people on Twitter complaining about it that read the manga, but so far to me it's pretty dope. I like it. It's like a cool little slice of life school anime. The main character is pretty dope. I like how like he got his passion back into art, and even though he does bullshit, because they were drinking in high school and shit, like they literally went to a bar and was just getting drunk watching games. That shit was funny. The next one I'm watching is The Faraway Paladin. Now this follows a guy that got reincarnated as a baby, but literally where he got reincarnated as is like in the middle of nowhere, and what literally is getting raised by dead people. There's literally a ghost wizard, a lich nun, and like a warrior, I guess you would say undead skeleton guy, and they're literally raising him, and you get to see him from a baby go all the way to like he's a teenager and all that. Like it's very interesting because there's a lot of questions they have not answered to him, because like it is very weird like why he's just in this church with a whole bunch of 3 dead adventurers that used to be alive back in the day, but they're all dead, and it's like very interesting. Like I can't wait to see where this goes, but so far it's pretty dope. I fuck with it. Like I really do. Like it's like the pacing is kind of slow right now, but it kind of makes sense why they're pacing, because they're just building up to like when he finally leaves and goes on an adventure, I guess. And also there's no other humans besides him, so there's that too. These are like all the new anime I'm watching, of course. What is this? The next one is Build Drive 000 Code Black. This is basically reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh in a way, like dead ass it does, because like they're in this city and everybody has to battle with their card decks and shit, and literally the cards come alive when they battle on the field, because they're trying to get to the king that they can get their own wish. The main character basically has amnesia for some reason, I don't know why, but there's some baddies. Just know the decks they have, bro, are full of baddies. Like dead ass, they're all full of baddies. I was like, damn. I was like, bro, can I get one of these decks? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna stop it there. But it's an okay anime. It's like, eh. All right, the next one is My Senpai is Annoying. I recently saw the manga this at Barnes & Noble. I was like, oh, this has a manga, but this one's a pretty decent anime, because like this follows like work. So you have this super short girl and this super tall guy who's their senpai, and like it's just funny like the jokes they have, because everybody thinks that she's his daughter, because like she's super short. Like she would seem like she's somebody's daughter. I don't know. I wonder how short she really is. Like if we looked at like the height, I wonder how tall she actually is. And like I feel like he has to be 6 foot, or like maybe even taller than that, maybe like 6'5", and she's like 4 foot or something. That would probably be the difference, because like she is hella short. But yeah, you follow them in the office and you see like how she gets annoyed with him, and then like how maybe a romantic relationship might come, or maybe she likes him or something like that. But he honestly sees her just as a little kid, because he's always patting her on the head and shit, because she's short, but he does kind of see her as a woman. But it's a pretty cute anime. I fuck with it a lot. All right, the next one is, hey, finally this dropped on Netflix, but I am kind of mad that they didn't drop 3 episodes, because 3 episodes are out. But KOMI Can't Communicate. So far the anime's been pretty dope. Like especially like they've actually been covering the anime the right way. Like I fuck with it so far. Like it's amazing seeing KOMI and everybody in the gang like made animated now. I'm very happy. I can't wait to watch the rest of the season. Like I said, I'm watching on Netflix, because there's no reason for me to pirate an anime that's just going to be on Netflix, because it's Netflix. I mean, I don't care if I'm behind, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care that much, because it's just going to be on Netflix. Like it doesn't really matter. All right, the next one is Deep Insanity, The Lost Child. This has a banger opening. Banger opening. So this one deals with like in Antarctica, like this random hole that basically opens up to, I guess, to the middle of the earth somehow or something. it somehow appears. Then you have researchers and all these people to come, they discover it. But one of the things that happen is certain people that can't be in this hole, they get taken over by this disease and ends up turning them into like these big monster type of thing into rage. I think the disease is like rage or some shit that happens. Main character, he wants to be a hero, so he joins the army or the agent soldiers or whatever they're part of that. He ends up joining them. He ends up put in this one team that goes down there and hunts the abnormal monsters and shit. It's okay. The commander, that's a girl. She's nice. That's all I gotta say. I was about to say something else, but she's nice. That's all I gotta say. All right, next one is what's this? Garandol. Garandol. I don't know exactly how you say that. Whatever. I can't read for shit anyway. This one has a lot of different references. There's an Evangelion reference. There's also a Girl in Lagann reference. The Evangelion reference is like with two things. Like they have like a thing in there, like a HQ that's basically like how Nerve was. They also have like the way they get into these machines, like literally the way Rei and Shinji and them get in there with them, like them one little circle things. I forgot, like cylinder type of things they're going. There's that shit. Like the Girl in Lagann, the main character, like the main general that's here, you deadass looks like Kamada from Gurren Lagann, like deadass does. There's also like a Gundam reference. Like, I forgot what Gundams there were, but you know, like them weird, like little short ass Gundams they had. Like they had a series about that. That's literally how the Gundam, like the robots in here look. They remind me of those Gundams, like them little short, weird looking Gundams that they had. Like I remember they had toys of those back in the day. Like that's what this one reminds you about. So the last one is Ancient Frame Girls, and deadass, it's these girls that fight things that look like robots from the Matrix. Like deadass, they do. Like they really do. The robots they find deadass do look like, if you ever seen like the final Matrix movie, like that 1/3 one, like when Neo discovers that like they're in like there's robots, shit like that, whatever. Them weird looking robot things, they're kind of fighting like not tentacle, but robotic with a lot of limbs, shit like that. They end up having these machines that are in the middle of the earth. Certain girls have DNAs that can attach to it, and they end up going there and that. But yeah, this is all the new anime. Let's get to the anime that has newer seasons. So yeah, I forgot about two anime when I was talking about my watch list, and I just happened to see this. I was like, how did I forget about these two? So the first one I forgot about was Irina, the Vampire Cosmonaut. Now this is the one that's basically based in Russia, and they're trying to do like the go to space fight, because you know that happened like back in the Cold War, the race to get to space. So like this is their take on that, but instead of like sending humans in space first, they sent a dog first, and then the dog died, sadly, RIP. But now they're trying to send vampires, because yes, there's vampires in this world. So the place where it's at is basically Russia, because you can tell, because Cosmonaut is how Russians say astronaut, or the way they say they're astronauts and shit like that. So that's how you know this is based in Russia, in the way like it is formed, and like where they're in the location and the geographic and all that shit. You can tell it's Russia. But yeah, it's about a vampire, and like it's a vampire trained to be an astronaut and shit like that. There's one thing in this show, bro, that I'm like, oh, you can tell what they're doing. The first 2 episodes, they sexualize her lips crazy, bro. Because like there's a lot of scenes where they zoom into her lips, and there's even one scene in episode 2 where it shows her sucking this thing out of like a bottle, and I'm like, oh, whoever made this anime was animating these scenes, they got the assignment. I've always said a vampire would get some fire ass head. So let me stop talking like that. But yes, I forgot about this one. But yeah, that is something I always thought about. Like whenever I talk about vampires in anime, I'm like, yes, this one, whoever was animating this, hey, they got that shit. They knew they had a mission and they achieved that shit. They had an assignment and they got the assignment. Yeah, that shit was funny. But yeah, they do such like that. Besides that, the show is really good. Like I enjoy the show so far. Like it's pretty dope. It's funny, the dynamic between the vampire of Irina, whatever, her, and then like the one guy. Like it's a pretty funny dynamic. And there's like a little girl guy, you know, the little girl woman, that type of shit, the lolly type of shit, lolly or whatever that shit, where it's like a grown ass woman, they make a little ass kid look like that shit. Those three like have a funny, interesting dynamic. I like that shit. All right, the last one, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have no idea how to say this shit, so if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. Just know I might fuck this name up. It's like Ganani Bear Do Chiu Chan. I don't fucking know. You'll see a name up there. I don't know how to say this shit. It's literally one of these anime that's literally only like 3 to 6 minutes. It's one of those short ones. I saw that the manga is like hella ecchi, kinda, or at least has like some interesting scenes in it, and then in the anime version it's kind of not as like super ecchi and fan service as like the manga was. I've seen that. So far it's okay. It's like a little one I just watch. Sometimes I forget about watching it, but like it's okay. It's like, if you want to just watch a quick little anime, then there you go. It's like there's 6 minutes each episode, like 3 to 6 minutes, and it's like that. It finishes so fast. But yeah, these are the 2 I forgot. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the anime that I'm watching that got season 2. And yeah, 86 part, I guess season 2. Good, really good. I fuck with it, especially because we find out certain stuff. I don't want to spoil it because if people haven't seen 86, but you find out somebody's still alive, I would say that, or certain people are still alive, and we learn about other humans. I fuck with that. Wrestling to Another World Season 2. Yes, I love this shit. Like, I literally want to do a video about, like, because, you know, people hate on Food Wars, but if you want to watch something that's just like Food Wars, watch Wrestling to Another World, because it deadass is just like Food Wars. It really is. All right, next one is Let's Make a Mug Season 2. Yes. I loved Season 1. It was cute. Like, it's a little short 14-minute anime, and I really fuck with it. Season 2 is so nice right now, too. I fuck with it. Of course, Mushoku Tensei Season 2. So far, it's been really good. The pacing's been really good. Like, I am mad that they did not run into Roxy, like, in the first episode, because I'm like, bro, how did you not fucking see her? There is still the wild stuff. I still think the main character, he is very out of pocket and wild. It's like, bro, just because you're reincarnated for somebody else does not mean that she's still not your fucking cousin. Stop trying to be turned on by your fucking cousin. And plus, you have the one elf girl that's back in your hometown. You have her. Stop being worried about your fucking cousin. Yeah, that's the only thing that is like weird about it. Like, no, stop that. Fuck that. Stop that. Like, that's the only weird thing. And then, of course, like I said earlier, JoJo Part 6, Demon Slayer Season 2, those are coming out, but later in the year. Continuing anime, of course, One Piece, like always. FENA, the Pirate Princess, of course, that shit has been really dope. If you've been watching it, it did get to a point where I'm like, where else are we going to go after this? Because, like, I think this is slated for like 20 episodes or 24 or something like that. And it kind of got to a thing where I'm kind of like, where else are we going to go from here now? Because it seemed like they made it to like where they need to go. Next one is AQUATOPE on White Sand. Yes, I love this shit. Season 2, Course 2. It's been good so far. Course 2, yes. Like, it's been so good compared to... The first course was good, but this one, they picked it up. And, like, we're getting more story, more characters, and I love it. I love it. Scarlet Nexus, Course 2, I don't care. Scarlet Nexus is meh. The Great Jahi will be defeated. Yes, I love this shit. I love this shit. The Great Jahi is funny, bro. I can't wait to see until we get to episode 20 and see what else happens. And then the last one, I mean, this one finished, but it did continue. It literally finished like last week, or no, it finished earlier this week. Because like it continued, because like some of the episodes were delayed. But Love Live Superstar, it's over now, but it was a summer anime, but it continued in the fall for a little bit, like half of the fall already, so I had to keep it there. But yeah, this is all I'm watching this season. Yeah, I'm watching a lot. Like I said, I'm watching 34, gonna be watching 36 as soon as December comes. But yeah, this is all I'm watching. Like I said, I know I messed up names. Sorry for doing that. It happens sometimes. It happens. Everybody messes up names. You don't gotta be an ass if I messed up some names for some of y'all that might. I don't know. If you enjoyed, you can like. If you didn't, you can dislike. Subscribe if you really enjoyed. Let me know what what anime you're watching this season. Let me know, because I really am curious, because I like knowing what people are watching. But yeah, I'm watching 34. I am going to make a video about how I can watch all this anime, because there is ways I can watch it all. Even though I'm recording right now in like the NBA zone right now, I should be watching this game, but hey, I recorded late, but hey. But yeah, hey, if you enjoyed, thank you for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye.